toy collectors, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today, Dave Croft and I are taking a look at the results of a poll for the top 1986 action figures. These were voted on by the members of the G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, 1982 to 1994 Facebook group. We had just under 600 votes, and actually just a few votes less than the 1985 poll. These are kind of those pinnacle years. There was that huge uptick in popularity in G.I. Joe, and we're really kind of near the top there. Some phenomenal figures. I don't even know how, if you had to figure this out on your own, you'd make your top couple figures. To fight this out would be almost impossible.
Tough years, but good years.
Good years.
Yeah.
So in the number 10 spot, we've got Leatherneck.
Yeah. Now, I like Leatherneck.
It's phenomenal.
But I think he's underappreciated. I mean, at this point, he's not... He's one of those figures who I think everyone likes, but they don't love. And you can pick him up fairly cheap. But the detail on this guy is awesome.
Very great paint scheme.
And the gun he comes with...
The grenade launcher underneath of it.
M16 with a grenade launcher. I mean, it's a fantastic gun.
He needed like a bipod or a microphone to get lost to make him a top tier character in everyone's mind, you know?
Yeah.
He's a great figure, though.
He really is.
He looks tough. I love that Ron Rudat, the guy who designed most of the characters, his face is Leatherneck. It's not a thing you knew as a kid or anything like that, but it's such a cool tribute now, looking back on it, knowing that...
It's a great wink.
Yeah. It's really cool. So in the number 9 spot, we've got Leatherneck's best buddy, Wetsuit.
Yeah. Oof.
Wetsuit is a really cool figure again. I always felt that he was less militaristic looking, though, than Torpedo, the first Navy SEAL we got in the Joe line. Wetsuit looked a little more recreational. I think it's probably the yellow. But, man, is the detail really high on him with the rebreather hose that hooks into his backpack. He's got a searchlight and the little jet sled thing.
Yep.
It's kind of a shame he didn't come with a weapon, though.
Yeah.
Right? He's very non-offensive.
With all of those things that he came with, he didn't really have a weapon.
Yeah, he could move through the water easy.
You know, and speaking of his deco, like part of the vibe I got, even though it's not a direct correlation, I got a little bit of Coast Guard feel from that figure.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I'm kind of like, and to your point, not as military. Maybe it's because he doesn't have a weapon.
Maybe.
I mean, even if he had, like, I don't know, some sort of demolition device or something that he's planting or something that a SEAL would do. I don't know, but I love this figure. Love him to death, but just needed to go one step further to make him a little more military. Yeah.
Did you think like the repaint did anything for him, doing him in silver?
I mean, I love that figure.
Okay.
I don't know necessarily that I like it more or less.
I don't think it screams military anymore, though, either.
Well, it's interesting. I think it screams more realistic in a way.
Okay.
But I don't necessarily think military.
Yeah.
If they had used Torpedo's color scheme, I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah. In the number 8 spot, we've got a version 2 of a classic figure who really redefined himself at this point.
Yep.
We have General Hawk.
Yep.
So Colonel Hawk from the original 82 lineup, who was just known as Hawk. He came with a little missile system. Suddenly he's back with a new hairdo to make him stand out from Duke. He's got a removable helmet. He's got a pistol. He's got a backpack, an awesome leather bomber jacket.
Yep. Cool
camo pants. I love that figure. All right, boys, let's round up the troublemakers. I think it's a really cool figure.
I think he's an okay figure.
Okay.
I was a little... I don't know if it's the artwork. I don't know. I find that figure's missing... Yeah, I find that the figure's missing something.
Okay.
I have never been able to put my finger on it. Now, maybe it's because I've never been into bomber jackets like that. I don't know. I know he's like more of like the commanding officer, so he's not taking it to the enemy like in the front line. So maybe that's... I mean, he came with a pistol. Like, like you think of Flint or Duke. Like, they have guns that are like, they can go to war.
More combat ready.
He's got a pistol.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know if it's... I don't know. But they did okay with him. He's just not my cup of tea.
I got you. We all have our favorites. Wherever there's trouble, G.I. Joe is there. Now I know. And knowing is half the battle. In the number 7 spot, we've got a mail-away figure. We've got the good old US of A version of Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Slaughter fan.
Yeah.
But that's actually one of my least favorite versions of him.
That's funny. That's funny. I mean, I think Sergeant Slaughter is fantastic.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I never got big on any of his one or other characters.
Okay.
But I'm not surprised he's at number 7. I could see him being higher, but I could also see him being maybe lower. Because there's a lot of other figures that came out in '86 that are good.
A lot of good figures. So, personally, I just always thought that the wrestling pants and boots were less interesting in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I think the paint apps on them, like the USA and the Joe logo going down the pants, is very cool.
Yep.
I know that that's like the first appearance of him, so I totally get why people would vote for him.
Yeah.
To me, the camo pants that came with Triple T, that is the Sergeant Slaughter of my youth.
I would say that too.
Figure.
Yeah, that's my
love
preference.
that figure.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sergeant Slaughter definitely deserves. One version of Sergeant Slaughter deserves to be in the top 10 list.
Discipline! That's what we need! Without discipline, what do we have? Nothing!
In the number 6 spot, I can't believe this neon freak made it this high.
Me either.
Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi at number 6.
Wow.
I mean, Sci-Fi beat out Sergeant Slaughter.
That's crazy.
That is crazy to me.
He's got a really great sculpt as far as technical detail go. His backpack's really cool. The laser rifle is awesome. Like, everything about him is neat. But, man, is he a bizarre figure in that lineup. You put all those guys together, Wetsuit looks like he's straight out of the army on that one. When you put that green guy in there.
Yeah. The sculpt as a whole is fantastic. I think they took a bold choice in doing the green, which I commend them for. Clearly people like it. I love him. I think he's got, some really nice details that they've put into him that I think are overlooked at times. And I think he's a great figure. I'm really surprised he's at number 6, though.
I always wondered why they didn't just call him Flash version 2.
Right. Could have.
They were just like, oh, we need a new laser guy.
That's right.
Yep. Gotta get a new one.
Yeah.
In the number 5 spot, we already had General Hawk, so now we gotta flip the coin and take a look at Cobra's leader. We've got Serpentor.
Oof.
That figure, I mean, I get it with people that dislike the character based on the sci-fi elements. But, man, when you look at the deco on that figure, and if you're going to say, okay, we need a villain for a thing called Cobra, my gosh, they took that to, like, the nth degree. His face is inside a Cobra face. He's got Cobras on his arms. He's got a glove that looks like, I mean, it's just covered.
They went literal with the idea of a serpent.
Yes.
Yeah.
This guy is just Snake City.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he comes with a snake.
Yeah.
I mean...
Pet snake, yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, this guy is a great, great character. The idea that he comes with a chariot, too, that's a whole nother thing.
A little hover vehicle.
I mean, and the pose on the box is just great. I personally think they did a great job with the cartoon. Just added to his whole idea of him. I think the detailing, I think they made really smart decisions when it came to the colors that they picked. Because they've got that whole, like, that goldish kind of color, but it's not too gold. And then they've got the yellow that's involved. I think they made so many smart decisions.
The glittery cape, too, was a really neat feature. It's too bad those didn't hold up. But, man, that was a really nice
Everybody
touch.
ripped the armholes on those things. Oh, that's unfortunate.
In the number 4 spot, we've got the first sniper that we can't call a sniper. He's a night spotter.
That's right.
Low light.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my favorite figures when I was a kid.
Okay.
I just thought that the detailing of that sculpt just was so interesting. And the idea that they said, we're not going to go overly elaborate with this. They could have made that figure all black. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, we're not going to go with the obvious choice. We're going to do this kind of dark charcoal gray. Then we're going to have this red part that's all on him. He's got these goggles. He's got these zippers. Yeah, he's got the hat. I mean, he's got a sniper with the big-ass scope and that little bipod. He's got this enormous backpack. I don't know what's in that backpack, but he's got it. I just think that figure is really, really great. I mean, kind of maybe a foreshadowing to Night Force. I don't know, but I always kind of had this, like, was that what they're testing? Is, like, would a Night Force group work out? Maybe. I don't know. But a great, great figure.
So now we're into the top 3, and this gets really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, all 3 of these are good picks, but we are at a Cobra Army Builder.
Yeah.
With the Cobra Viper.
Yeah.
this is tough because this guy could be in the top 3 of a Cobra Army Builder poll.
Yeah.
Like, the Viper is so iconic.
Yep.
From the goggles on top of the helmet, the Cobra Commander-like mask,
Yep.
those red gloves,
Yep.
and that gun. Oh
That
my
gun.
gosh, I love that gun.
Yeah. I mean, it's an iconic gun.
He's a cool figure. I love the combination of the red and the blue,
Yes.
which were both Cobra colors, but we didn't see a combination on figures a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
The silver mask harkening back to Cobra Commander was such a great idea.
Yeah.
And they looked great in the animation, in the comic, and the figure itself, just fantastic.
Yeah. I can understand why it's number 3, but I wouldn't have been surprised if it was number 1.
Right.
I mean, this figure is just a great figure. It's a great character. It's like you said. I mean, army building this figure. I mean, everyone army builds it. You can't go wrong with this figure.
And such a step up from the Cobra Troopers.
Oh.
Everyone loved the Cobra Trooper, but man, these guys just looked so much more like ready for battle.
Yeah.
The Cobra Troopers with the little face masks, there's something a little bit hokey about that when you really think about it,
Yeah.
but like to have these guys with actual like battle helmets and a little bit more gear on them just seem really solid.
Yeah, totally agree.
In the number 2 spot, I was actually a little bit surprised he did this well.
Same.
I don't know why I feel that way because I know that he's a popular character, but I think because this is my personal favorite G.I. Joe character, I always assume that I'm kind of like going out there on a little but Beachhead.
Yeah, Beachhead.
Beachhead, what a cool looking figure. Camo pants,
Yep.
black tactical vest, full balaclava mask. He's got clips across his chest.
Yeah.
He's got his purse, as
Yeah,
we all
he's got
called it
his
as a
purse.
kid, full of clips.
Yep.
A great machine gun, the backpack with a grappling hook, crossbow. I mean, just some really crazy stuff on this figure.
And he looks great in the illustration for the artwork.
Yes.
I mean, he looks the part. Like, you look at him and you immediately go, oh, this dude's not playing around. This guy is taking things into his own hands, and he's going to take care of business.
And then the voice casting for the cartoon is so good.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, he's so gruff and so pissed at all times.
Yep.
Which is funny because the file card talks about him being cool in a firefight, but he's like so pissed he's on a hairpin trigger in that cartoon.
Yep.
Everything everyone does is making him mad.
Yep. Yeah. Great figure, great design, great sculpt, great paint. I mean, really, really good figure.
And our number 1 figure, and arguably, for sure, I mean, this guy is an incredible figure and a very big departure from what we've seen in the past. You know, we mentioned sci-fi being a little bit of a left turn here. The Cobra Bat is the first robotic figure we've had. We've had, like, robotic battle suits in G.I. Joe. There's been robots in the comic a little bit. But a basic rank-and-file trooper who's a robot. He's got interchangeable hands.
Yeah.
Lenticular chest plate.
Yeah.
That Boba Fett visor.
Yeah.
Like, it's everything a kid's going to go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and to think about it, I mean, this is number 1 for 86. This could potentially probably be the most popular fan favorite Cobra figure in all of the line.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think of another Cobra figure, maybe Storm Shadow or Firefly, but they would be close. But the Cobra Bat to me is fantastic. The idea of it, of this android like going out and fighting G.I. Joe, and granted, I think they took some liberties in the cartoon of making it more beefy and there's more of like this hulking kind of thing. Loving the fights between them and Sergeant Slaughter, Beachhead, like loving those things. Man, and who would have thought this yellow, adding yellow to that figure, people would love it.
I think it's the hazard, industrial black and yellow striping kind of thing that makes him work so well.
Yeah.
I still, as a kid, one of my favorite, episode moments was at the end of one of the episodes, Shipwreck's run around with a bat arm attached to him, and Lifeline comes out with a hacksaw to, cut it off of him. Just like a great little, sight gag in the cartoon based on the bat.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, so this has been our, poll results for the 1986 figures. In the comments down below, let us know what your thoughts are on this, and make sure you check back for our next round of polls for 1987.